On this channel, you get welcomed back by Britney Spears, apparently. Oh my god, I nearly jumped out of my skin. It's been a long ass time since I did this and I miss it, so I'm just gonna do it, and I'm gonna talk about books that I've read recently. So I'm gonna start right at the beginning with the first book I read in 2018, because yes, it has been that long since I made a video. It's currently April. It's fine. The first book I read was The Enchanted Lake, and it's a collection of kind of like short Irish folk tales, I think, by Sinead de Valera. Just the general style and structure of fairy tales feel kind of comfortable to me, so I enjoyed reading it in that respect, but I don't really remember many of the specifics of the story, so I don't really know if I could say I recommend it, but I enjoyed it. The next book I read in 2018 was... why did it take me so long to read that? Uprooted by Naomi Novik, which also, incidentally, the book as well as that title took me a really long time to read, which is strange for me. I think it's because this writing style is quite dense. I know I've seen a lot of people praising the writing style and saying how, you know, beautifully written it is, which it is, but I don't know what happened with me. I think there was just some kind of disconnect there. I love the story. It's about this little town, village town, and basically to protect the town from magic, not from magic, to protect the town from bad magic that lives in the woods, or, you know, these... Right, I'm gonna start again because this sounds shit. Right. There is a little town on the edge of some dark and scary woods. There is dark, evil things in the wood. But also, there is this wizard called the Dragon, or is he just... yeah, the Dragon is this wizard who lives in a tower, and he basically protects the town from the wood, but then the town are also scared of the dragon because every 17 years? Every once in a while, the dragon takes a young girl from the village to kind of serve him for 10 years, and these girls come back changed and they want to move away, and no one knows what happens in the tower. And we start off with Agnieszka. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Agnieszka. And basically she thinks that her best friend is about to be taken by the dragon, but then there's a twist and the story starts. I really loved the kind of fantasy fairy tale vibes. I just found it was a little bit slow paced for me, and there was, I don't know why, some kind of disconnection with the writing style, and I think I didn't really feel like I knew the main character well enough. I don't know. There was just something that didn't quite work for me, but I did enjoy it and I would recommend it because I think other people would really enjoy this. Next up, I read Secrets of the Mad by Dodie Clark, or Doddle Oddle on YouTube, and as I suspected, I just really liked this. It's basically everything I love about Dodie's channel in a book. It's her humour, her honesty, her rawness really comes across, and she writes these beautiful essays. It's really lovely, and I would recommend this if you're a fan of hers. Then I read Turtles All the Way Down, which was a big deal for me because when I was... well, I'm still a fan of John Green, but when I was about 13, maybe to 16, I was absolutely obsessed with John Green, and I read all of his books, and yeah, I was that teenager. So this was kind of long awaited, and I obviously was very curious to see what he would write next. I really want to do a full video review, so I'm not going to say that much, but I did enjoy this, but there are some things that I want to say about it, so look out for that video. Then I read This One Summer, which is a graphic novel by Gillian Tamaki and Mariko Tamaki, and the art is amazing. This takes place over summer, who would have thought? And it's these two close friends who meet in this kind of not isolated, but it's like this little beach town, and they only meet every summer because when their families go to stay there, and it's basically about what's going on with the people around them. The main character's parents are kind of having difficulties, and it's about, I guess, not really growing up because they're young, but they're just kind of trying to understand each other and the world because they're about 12, I think. And so I think it's a kind of story that people can not relate to because there's not really many events that happen, but it's just kind of a universal feeling of feeling on the cusp of something. Oh, then I read Call Me By Your Name, which completely broke my heart and then put me back together again, I guess. It's lovely and amazing. I saw the film before I read the book, and that did not matter at all. I fell in love with the film. I saw it 3 times in the cinema. I pre-ordered it so it came to my house on the day that DVD came out, and it's just, I can't even describe how beautiful it is, because I think if I tried I would do it a disservice, and I don't want to do that. I think I bookmarked a bit that I really liked. Okay, yeah, I want to read this out because it's just like the prettiest, and the whole book is written like this, so it's so good. Today, the pain, the stoking, the thrill of someone new, the promise of so much bliss hovering a fingertip away, the fumbling around people I might misread and don't want to lose and must second guess at every turn, the desperate cunning I bring to everyone I want and crave to be wanted by, the screens I put up as though between me and the world there were not just one, but layers of rice paper sliding doors, the urge to scramble and unscramble what was never really coded in the first place. All these started the summer when Oliver came into our house. They are embossed on every song that was a hit that summer, in every novel I read during and after his stay, on anything from the smell of rosemary on hot days to the frantic rattle of the cicadas in the afternoon. Smells and sounds I'd grown up with and known every year of my life until then, that had suddenly turned on me and inquired an inflection forever coloured by the events of that summer. Then I read Language of Thorns, which I loved. I cannot put into words how much I love this. It's just so good. I'm addicted to Leigh Bardugo's writing style, and this is a set of folk tales set in the Grishaverse. My favourites, if I had to pick, which is like picking, I don't know, a favourite puppy or something, it's so hard, but if I had to pick, I'd probably say Ayama and the Thornwood and When Water Sang Fire. And these stories are beautifully written but also beautifully illustrated. And so basically how it's done is that on each page the illustration, I don't even know if you can see, but on each page there's like a border, and every time you turn a page like something gets added to it. It's just gorgeous. It's just so gorgeous, and I think you don't even need to have read her other books to read these. They're just like really good fairy tales. And then I read Release by Patrick Ness, and this is about Adam, and the whole novel takes place over the course of one day. And basically I think the way I would describe this novel is it's about a turning point. So it's about a point in Adam's life where things are about to change, and they can either go very well or very not well. And I really enjoyed it. I loved Adam, even though we're only with him for like a day, but there's flashbacks and things. I really connected with him as a main character. And I also loved the kind of interwoven fantasy elements, because as well as Adam going through this day, which is changing him and everything around him gradually, but there's also a spirit who rises from the lake and is drawn to his presence, and it's cool. That's how I do reviews now. It's cool. And then I went on an Agatha Christie binge, I guess. I read 4 Agatha Christie novels in the course of about 5 days. I think it was because it was snowing. Weirdly, you know when it snowed in March and everyone was like, what's going on? But I was off uni for about a week because things were cancelled because of the snow, and I think because it was snowing and it was kind of mysterious and like no one could go outside, you have to like cozy up, and I was like, oh, mysterious, I'll read about some murder. But yeah, I had so much fun. So I read Murder in the Mews, Appointment with Death, Curtain, Poirot's Last Case, and 450 from Paddington. Each of these are really good. I think like my feelings about 450 from Paddington, Curtain and Murder in the Mews are kind of the same. I just enjoyed them and had a good old time. But the one that stood out for me that I would really recommend is Appointment with Death. It's really, really interesting. The title is a tad stupid, I admit, but I really enjoyed this. It's set in Petra, which is this kind of deserty place, and basically Poirot's out there, but it's not really about Poirot, which I really liked actually. That sounds rude. I don't have a thing against Poirot, but he doesn't come into the book until about halfway through, which means that the actual kind of murder, like the main murder, doesn't take place until about halfway through. So you spend about half of the book building up these characters that are staying at the hotel and how their relationships and things are happening, and then the murder happens halfway through. It was a bit of a different format for an Agatha Christie novel, and I really enjoyed it. So that's everything I've been reading so far this year. Sorry this was such an info dumpy video, but I wanted to just talk about books because I haven't done that in a while, and I'll see you soon with another video. That's a promise, because it's Easter, so I'm gonna film a crap ton of videos and you're gonna be sick of my face by the end of it. So yeah, I'll see you soon. Bye.